Yes, my name is Trent. I'm retired from the Army, 26 years in the military with multiple deployments. But there's one thing, the name of this book is Not All Trauma Comes from Combat Relief. There's certain times in the military that when you stay back, there's a uniform that family members do not want to see. And I'll be telling you about how that falls out through this story. So normally soldiers don't like to stay back behind. And one time in my career, I was asked to stay back when my unit was going forward to Iraq. They wanted me to stay home and run the unit at home and the people at home and take care of the families and monitor the families at home. Wasn't really my first choice. I'd rather deploy and go to Iraq myself, but that's just the way it is. When the command asks you to do something, that's what you do. So I stayed back. We trained all the soldiers to send them down range. We took the training that we were supposed to have in case we lost soldiers, things that we were supposed to do. And the briefings that we get and the briefings that we give our family members is the only time that you will see the dress green uniform or the dress uniform is if a soldier comes up to your house to let you know that your husband, your father, son, daughter is not going to come home from the war. And one night I received that phone call. They told me to come in, to get ready. So I go in for the briefing. I talk to the commander. I get the script that I'm supposed to read. I got to memorize it before I get there. So I get my driver together. I get the chaplain. Then I get another NCO, a non-commissioned officer, that's going to take care of the family once we let the family know what happened. So I get everything together and I memorize my part. And I remember driving out there. It's kind of quiet in the vehicle, nobody's talking. And this was over in Germany. So we walk around, and in Germany, the way that a lot of places is, people live in apartments. So you ring the doorbell from the outside, and the people look out of the window. And as soon as the wife looked out of the window, she seen the three of us standing there in our dress uniform. She started screaming. Her mother, her grandmother, pretty much the whole family lived in that building. When we walked through the door, everybody was screaming and crying, yelling no, because they knew what was going to happen. They knew why we were there. My job was to calm everybody down and be able to tell the wife exactly what the president wanted me to tell her. There's a speech that you memorize that comes from the president, and that's what you tell the wife or the mother or whoever is there. I remember doing this with a 6-year-old daughter sitting on her lap, also crying, because we were telling her that Dad's not coming back home. It's a hard thing to do. And then once I say what I have to do, I step back. The chaplain comes in, he talks, and then there's another person there that's going to assist this family through the crisis of doing all the paperwork that you have to do for the government to make sure everything is taken care of. Then another one of my jobs, since I was in charge, is to make sure that the funeral is planned. The soldiers are ready. The pallbearers are the soldiers. The soldiers that are out there to give the 21-gun salute. I do all of that to make sure everything is ready for that ceremony. And when I went there that day to do my inspection of all my soldiers, the family was there, and they wouldn't even look my way because I was the one that brought the bad news. The whole thing was related to me. And I understand that, I got that. But I was the one that told the family, Dad's not coming back home. Your husband's not coming back home. So that's what they looked at me as. And that's a hard part of the military. It's something we have to drive on with, we have to do. But there's a lot of things that people talk about that they're combat related, and I don't talk about combat related stuff, not yet. I'm trying to get this one out. But it wakes you up at nighttime also. You see the face of the wife, and then the face of the 6-year-old child, and the rest of the family standing there screaming and crying. And you have to be the one that calms everybody down. That's my story. What helps me get through, first you have to own up to it and admit that you need the assistance. And I have spent many hours at the VA hospital talking to my counselors and stuff over there that helped me move along. Because what I really want to do is be a part of society and give back to society. I don't want to be a hindrance and hold things back. So that's why I worked really hard with my counselor to get me back into doing what I'm supposed to do as a person no longer in the service. So yes, the VA hospital and my counselors at the hospital really helped me a lot. I'd like to thank everybody for listening to my story today and coming out to see me. And I hope that it helps people to understand.